Hello and welcome to Hello and welcome to Marvel Cinematic University. I'm your Professor Alix with my star pupil Jake. How's it going, Jake?
It's me. It's a me.
Is it you, Jake? You
It's a me. I watched the whole.
did you happen to watch it in suspenders and a red shirt?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the only way you can watch the Hulk.
Yeah, I watched it with a rope around my neck because it made me want to hang myself.
Well, at least you did your homework, and I honestly, this might be your least favorite, but I'm kind of curious to see how this progresses. Well, I'm glad you watched it. I'm glad you did your homework
Everything in
today.
This movie sucked until the last fight scene, which I thought the last fight scene redeemed the movie a little bit, but like from the acting to the lighting, I'll give the CGI a pass because like it was 1978 when they made
It
this
was
movie.
it was 2008.
Close enough. It was 2008.
Yes.
I don't give the CGI a pass. The CGI in Iron Man was so much better.
The CGI in Iron Man didn't have a full person made out of CGI. The Iron Man suit was practical in Iron Man.
Was it?
Yeah, in Iron Man it was practical, but because Robert Downey Jr. hated it, later on they made it more CG.
What about Ironmonger's suit?
Was also practical with some CGI effects. Jon Favreau was a huge fan of practical effects.
Oh, good to know. Didn't know that. Seems like something we should have talked about last week, but Professor sucks, so.
Whoa. It's still MCU related. I can teach you MCU related stuff in any episode. It doesn't have to pertain. But today, obviously, we're talking about the Incredible Hulk. It sounds like you really loved it. So we're going to do the same thing we did last week, where I'm going to have you do a little summary, and I'm going to test you on your summary. And as you're telling the summary, I'm going to go through, and I'm going to give some of the information that I have here.
Well, first of all, on your little grade keeping notebook over there, write down a big fat D for dong, because that's what this movie was.
Why don't you go ahead and say that to the Hulk's face?
Look, I want to preference this by saying I like the Hulk. I wanted to like this movie. I went in saying this movie can't be that bad. It's the Hulk. I love the Hulk. But boy, I wanted to claw my eyes out this entire time. It was just a hard movie to watch. It was so hard to watch. Like I'm probably not going to remember a lot of it.
That's fair. So do you know who produced or who distributed this movie?
Universal.
The Incredible Hulk movie rights are still owned by Universal. So
Disney doesn't want to buy this piece of garbage.
No. Disney does want to buy this. So it's not that. So unlike Spider-Man, who's fully owned by Sony, Hulk is owned by Marvel. So Marvel has the right to use Hulk in anything they want to. However, to do a solo Hulk movie, Universal has right of first refusal, meaning that any Hulk movie Universal has to have a go to say, yes, we want to make this movie.
So Disney would like to make a new Hulk movie that's probably going to be a lot better.
Exactly.
And then they just want to take this one out back and, put one between the eyes.
Oh, yeah. They do a lot in the MCU to forget this movie. But however, this movie probably has more connections to the future of the MCU than Iron Man did.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Who's the actor that played the Hulk? Ed Norton?
Edward Norton, yeah.
Yeah, what an absolute joke of an actor.
Do you know what movie he's from?
Don't care.
Fight Club.
Okay. So, maybe one good movie.
So the acting in this movie isn't bad. It's the writing of the movie.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, probably, sorry to the actors. You probably did a great job. However, the lighting was terrible. Fucking Liv Tyler just an absolutely garbage performance.
Wow.
The guy who played Abomination, terrible performance. Ed Norton, terrible performance. I don't even know who the general is. Terrible performance.
General Ross. Oh my god,
Yeah,
General Ross is probably the best
like
character in
every
this whole
line
movie.
it looked like every line they said in this movie, they had a gun to their head and they were gonna get shot if they didn't say the line. Like, just,
And this was pre-strict MCU.
yeah, like they really
Uh,
could have let it rip with this one. Like, it was
well,
bad.
well, the director of this movie was Louis Leterrier, known for Now You See Me, Clash of Titans, and the Transporter movies. So that might give you an idea of the caliber of this movie.
Never seen the Transporter movies. If they're anything like this, I assume they suck. And Now You See Me.
Yeah,
I don't think I saw that one.
that's the magic one
Oh, I always wanted to see that one.
with Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, Dave
Um,
Frank,
the,
I think.
it's actually a decent movie. Mark Ruffalo's in it. Funny enough, the first choice that the director's first choice for Hulk in this movie was Mark Ruffalo, but the studio pushed for Ed Norton.
Talk about a boning by the studio.
Who's laughing now? The budget for this movie was 150 million, and was a box office.
Iron Man?
Yes. However, it only had a box office return of 264.8 million, which is
dollars.
Yes.
$264, because that seems more correct.
I mean, it only it actually didn't even double its profit, and made a lot less than Iron Man did. If you remember, Iron Man made upwards of 500 million domestically.
Yeah. I just can't see this movie being liked by anyone. You know, like, tweet at me or something if you like this movie.
Oh man,
Send me a tweet and tell me why I should be wrong.
can I think I might have skipped over a lesson in this class. So quick lesson, just quick teaching. Do not ask MCU fans for their opinion. Stop. What's happening is you're getting yourself canceled. You're gonna get
canceled by a bunch of comic book nerds.
I have no correlation with this man other than he is my student.
He asked me to be here. He has all the correlation.
Well, this movie stars Ed Norton and Liv Tyler. It is the second MCU movie in the franchise.
Okay.
It takes place about 6 months after Iron Man and during Nick Fury's big week, which you may remember includes Iron Man 2, Hulk, Thor, and Captain America at the end of the movie.
Okay, the parts of the movie like I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember. Is Nick Fury in this one at the end?
No.
Captain America?
So this is the only movie that Nick Fury.
No, it's Tony Stark's at the end of it.
This is the only movie that in Phase 1 that Nick Fury does not make an appearance. However, at the beginning of the movie during the opening title, there is a code red issued by Nick Fury in the manhunt for Bruce Banner.
Yeah, I think I recall that.
There's also references to Tony Stark in that opening credits in Stark Enterprise or Stark Industries. All right, Jake. Well, let's go ahead and give your synopsis of the movie.
So this movie starts off. He's like in a monk tower in South America, getting he's getting just like beat up trying to control himself being the Hulk. He's like an inspector or something for a soda company, right?
I thought you were gonna be like, yeah. I thought you like when you said inspector, I was thinking like detective. So they're gonna be like, he's an inspector in Ecuador. He's now the Ecuadorian inspector.
and he cuts his like hand or something, and somehow this like one small drop of blood makes it down like 15 stories through like 7 different floors, and one drop happens to like land in a bottle that just happens to like get to Stan Lee, who opens
Red
up
alert, red alert, it's a Stan Lee sighting. Stan Lee is drinking a bottle of blood.
Pretty sure he died from the blood.
So there's two options, right? He either died or he turned into a Hulk. As we learned in the MCU, interaction with Hulk blood most of the time gives you Hulk powers. As we learn in that's what we learned in She-Hulk anyway. But yeah, in She-Hulk we learned that interaction. We also learn at the end of this movie that interaction with Hulk blood makes you have some transformations.
Yes, it's Abomination.
No, actually. But you continue your synopsis and we'll get there when we get there.
All right. So after that, the colonel, the general,
Do you know the general's name?
no. His acting was so bad I refused to learn it.
General Ross, who will
General Kenobi.
No, that's a different franchise. We'll maybe do that university later. General Ross makes his next appearance in Captain America: Civil War. So we'll see him again. Quite a few times, actually.
Same guy, same actor?
Same actor.
Oh, shit. Must have gotten his stuff together and learned how to act.
He's a well-known actor. These are all, like, Oscar-worthy actors.
Not in this performance.
All right, continue. So General Ross.
We gotta get him. I think that's exactly how he said it. They're like, "Yep, that's the line for us." And then they go down there, and he turns into the Hulk. I think he just absolutely beats the piss out of like the entire army that goes down to get him, except including Abomination.
But what's his name prior to Abomination?
It's like John Quincy Adams or something.
John Quincy Adams becomes the Abomination.
It's not the president, it's just the guy's name. You can name someone anything you want.
Well, they named him Emil Blonsky.
So he gets the piss beat out of him, and that really lights a fire under his ass there, because he now wants this power. He's like, I gotta become a super soldier. Banner escapes. I don't even know. He goes and talks to some like guy who's like, "Oh, your girlfriend's got a boyfriend now," which I don't even know why they included a boyfriend in the story. I think you said it's important for some reason. To me, the guy just got cucked by the Hulk. Like, that's all that happened. He was in the movie for like 3 scenes.
Oh man, you're talking about my boy Ty Burrell from Modern Family?
Yeah. Guys in the movie for like 3 scenes. Scene 1 is like him finding out the Hulk is back, and scene 2 is like him watching the Hulk rescue his girlfriend and bang her or some shit like that.
I thought you were gonna say pound his girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh, that's another scene in the movie. They go to actually do it, and he's like, No, I can't get too excited.
He says, "Don't get me horny. You won't like it when I'm horny."
Yeah, she's basically like, "Come on, buddy. Like, you passed that road a while ago there. You guys were, he reached third base with her, and now he's getting too excited." Like, oh my.
Yeah, he was just going through the motions at the front of it.
Yeah. Dude was participating in like No Nut November eternally there.
No nut Hulkvember.
Yeah, No Nut Hulkvember there. Wonder if he jizzes green. Now that's a question. Does Hulk jizz? Maybe that's how She-Hulk started. Got a big load of Hulk jizz there, and we can cut it.
We haven't gotten to that lesson yet. But She-Hulk is indeed Bruce Banner's cousin. So unless we're
Selma, Alabama.
Unless we're watching the Alabaman Hulk,
That's the one.
I don't think it's this movie. Don't get me raiding. You won't like it when I'm raiding. All right. Oh man, continue your goddamn synopsis.
So,
leave out the She-Hulk cum.
After he finds Liv Tyler's character, they do like some awkward thing in the rain, like, "Oh, come with me." He's like, "No, I can't come with you." It's like the most, like, what's the word?
Rom-com?
No.
Rom-drom?
Cliche. It's like the most
Cliche
exchange ever. It's like, "No, don't go. Stay with me." "No, I can't stay with you. I must go for your safety." "No, it's safe. Stay with me." Like, come on. Like,
oh man, am I watching the movie right now?
Bro, did we Google like cliche things to say in a movie and then just toss it all in? Because like, Abomination, after he like fights Hulk for the second time, he sees Hulk and he's like, "Are you ready for round 3?" Like, bro, come on. Like, what
I think that's a great line. Are you ready for round 3? Ding ding. There's a ref and everything.
Yeah, what is this? A boxing match?
Are you ready for round 3 in Harlem?
Nah, but after that, I think there's some things that happen in between. They're pretty insignificant sounding and some terrible lighting. There's some conversation between the general and Abomination.
Oh, that's okay. That's an important conversation.
No,
so,
I thought it might be.
So this is our first reference to the Super Soldier Serum in the MCU and the Super Soldier Project.
Yeah, that's where they had that conversation.
Yeah. So he's offering Emil Blonsky to become a super soldier. It's a program that was put on ice. Ha ha ha. Get it? It was put on ice. When Captain America, Steve Rogers, was given the serum, and it was destroyed after he was given it. So they have spent basically since World War II trying to recreate the super soldier serum, which is why Bruce Banner was working with gamma radiation to kind of reignite the super soldier program and make super soldiers with his gamma radiation project. Turns out went horribly wrong, made him the Hulk, but kind of got the result he was looking for in a way.
Is a super soldier.
Exactly.
So he got the correct answer using the wrong formula.
I mean, in the scene where
he failed the problem successfully.
In the scene where Emil is fighting the Hulk when he has a super soldier but isn't Abomination yet, his powers are very similar to Captain America's, and he's like running as fast as Cap and jumping as high as Cap. Yes, round 2.
Yeah. Is this the one that was in like that field?
Yes, at the college.
That fucking battle, dude. I got a question for this college. Because did they run out of money? Because I'm pretty sure they threw Hulk through that skywalk.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so he gets thrown through that skywalk, right?
Well, he jumps out of the skywalk. He's in the skywalk when he turns into the Hulk. They smoke him out.
What did they shoot through that? They shoot like a tank shell or something?
No, they shot smoke bombs, gas bombs.
That's what it was.
And
okay,
they were trying to choke him out.
Huh?
They were trying to choke the Hulk out, like by turning him into the Hulk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, so that's like one of my things here. Like, they shoot these smoke grenades that bust through this like glass pane window with ease.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, like, the glass behind it's like bulletproof glass, and they just bounce off it. Like, no, like that shit goes through both panes, and like none of the smoke lands in there. Like,
no, it was precise. They measured.
Oh yeah, precisely.
Measured twice, cut once.
Steel bulletproof glass behind that. I was like,
they did. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Loopholes.
They're the military. They know everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they fight. I thought the battle was like bad. Like, it just looked bad. I can't remember, but there's specific points you point out. I was like, well, there's like guys over here doing nothing, and they're only sending like 3 guys out at the Hulk at a time. Like
mainly they're sending out Emil.
Using everybody at the same time. Let's send one guy out to fight him.
Yeah, send out the super soldier.
Yeah. But leave the tanks in reserve while he's fighting them. Like,
Well,
no big
so
deal.
the weapons that they do use, the little sonic booms on top of the trucks, those were designed by Stark
we found
Tech.
that out. They just conveniently used one of those at the end.
They're designed by Stark Industries. So they got those from they got them from Shield. So they got them from Shield because at this point, so this movie takes place in 2011. At this point, Tony is now working with Shield.
Okay. I will say this. It does kind of, this movie feels like they kind of shoehorn in these connections.
Well, yeah, it came out 3
like
months after.
Movie. It's like they wrote the movie and they're like, shit, we didn't have any connections to the Iron Man movie. We really got to shoehorn these in here.
Well, most
we already killed the whole battle scene. No, just toss this thing in at the end where we hold them down with this ray.
Well, most likely originally they weren't going to be a lot of connections, and then they like Iron Man was a success, and I think they did a few reshoots, but there was a lot that was already in this movie. That did connect it to the MCU as a whole. Because this was, remember, this is the second movie. This is still just the building blocks of the MCU.
They use sand as the second block for sure. No, and then like they what did they use? Use like a flamethrower or some shit, or on them at the end, or drop napalm on them.
I think they just shot him with a helicopter or something.
Okay, something like that. There's an explosion, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not before the general's daughter runs out onto the battlefield to try to hug the Hulk and calm him down.
Oh man,
30 seconds after she runs out, he's like, fire! And he's like, no. And it's like, dude, you can copy paste that to about 400 other movies, like, before this came out. This movie just feels like one big copy paste plagiarism job. If you put it, like, if you tried to submit this movie in a college class, you would fail and get kicked out for plagiarism, because that's how many other movies they copied out. They just copy pasted a Google Doc and changed a couple words in there and said, yep, this is good enough for the Hulk movie.
Yeah, it was good enough for the Hulk movie.
I got to see their citations.
Can you cite your sources?
Cite your sources, please. Liv Tyler's out there. They napalm her. And then the Hulk's like, oh, let me just hold you in my hand like this.
It's an indestructible hand.
Even though it's all open air, the fire won't come in there.
It's an indestructible hand.
Yeah, but then he walks out with her in his hand, like, she's like that. He's not like
she got hurt.
Holding her like this, like you would a salamander that you would find in the creek. You know, he's holding her like he's about to eat a hot dog or something.
Moving on, continue your story.
Moving on, after that, I think old buddy there, Abomination, which is what I call you.
That's fair.
He's pretty pissed off. He wants to get like 12 more injections.
Well, he's also like on his deathbed.
Yeah. His bones are.
Yeah,
he's
are a nice fine
puree.
You forgot the part where Hulk kicked him into a tree and he just went splat.
Yeah, so his bones are a nice fine puree. You could put it in a protein smoothie, perhaps, and the Hulk could drink it. And then they turn him into Abomination.
Well, no. So they give him more. They give him more of the super soldier serum, but he ends up going to New York to search for Mr. Blue, the person that Hulk was talking to.
And he's like, Mr. Green.
Yeah, them. So Abomination goes to search for him because that's where he knows the Hulk is going to be.
Yeah.
And eventually Mr. Blue turns a meal into the Abomination using Hulk's blood.
Yes, and he tries to cure the Hulk.
Correct. So before that, the Hulk goes to him and he asks Mr. Blue to cure him.
Yep, that happened beforehand. And isn't he like, oh, people either die or it works?
Yeah.
Haven't heard that in any other movies before, but I think that was the first time that was ever said in cinematic history. And then You know, the other stuff we already happened. Abomination's like turned into some lizard guy, and basically,
Also known as the Abomination.
yeah, he's a true
So
abomination, and I thought he was pretty cool looking. Actually, kind of one of my. I actually liked it. That's like one of the parts I liked. I liked him as a character. I thought his CGI was so much better than the Hulk's.
you might also recall that when he turned into the Abomination, he like destroyed the laboratory of Mr. Blue. Yep. Blood leaked into Mr. Blue's brain.
So Mr. Blue is the Hulk.
So Mr. Blue in the comics is the leader, the villain known as the leader.
So he's blue dabu dee dabu die.
He gets a giant head and turns green. And he's like really smart. And the leader. So the leader has yet to make his return to the MCU after 14 years. However, he has been confirmed to be the villain of Captain America 4, coming out I think in 2025, 2024.
With Anthony Mackie.
Correct.
Oh, awesome. I love Anthony Mackie. He's such a good actor.
So he's going to go up against the leader as the main villain of that movie.
Ooh.
But he has not, to this date, he has not made a reappearance in the MCU. So this is one of Marvel's longest running plot threads where this guy was set up as the next villain of the next Hulk movie, and then 14 years passed.
Wow, okay, yeah. I mean, they never made another Hulk movie, really, so it's probably why. Thanks, Universal.
All right, continue. You're almost here. You're almost through it.
Yep, almost there. That was painful up to this point. I was ripping hair out of my head and, throwing PS4 controllers through a wall by this part of the movie. So that basically leads up to the end battle scene. I'm sure there's might be a slight piece of unimportant.
Doesn't matter.
But that leads up to the final battle. I thought the final battle scene was actually halfway decent. It's probably the best part of this movie.
And it's the first rampage in New York City in the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, New York City gets destroyed about 1,200 times in the MCU.
If I was in the MCU, I would not live in New York.
Yeah, it's like living in Gotham. Or like Los Santos.
Yeah, that's true. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, you just, every couple of years, city leveled, rebuilt. Actually, a decent fight scene. I appreciated it. Kind of capped off a shitty movie.
Hey, at least it made it entertaining.
Are you ready for round 3? And the Hulk chokes him out with a chain. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hulk chokes him out with a chain, and then fucking Liv Tyler runs up.
Yeah, she doesn't want the Hulk to smash.
She wanted to smash. She just didn't want the Hulk to smash. Like, I was like, you just ruined the entire fight scene. Let's behead the Abomination with a chain, take his head and like kick it off into the Hudson River, and end the movie that way. That would have been so much. And
but then how would he make his appearance in She-Hulk and Shang-Chi?
I don't know. I just thought it was dumb. Like, it was yet another cliche part of the movie. And it's like, Liv Tyler's character just drove, I don't even know her name, drove me up a wall.
Betty Ross.
Huh?
Betty Ross.
That's the dumbest name ever, but I understand it. I can't, that's like canon, so I'm not going to comment on that. I think it's all right.
Well, so to get on one of my tangents about Marvel has the dumbest names for their characters. So
yeah,
let's not hold that against Betty Ross.
So like, they didn't really have creative names back then.
There's a character named Sue Storm.
That's pretty cool.
All right, continue, dumbass.
Yeah, we had Obadiah Stane.
I thought it was Levi Strauss.
Levi Strauss? Levi Strauss would have been a better name than Obadiah Stane, just saying, but we're not on that. That was But yeah, I mean that movie. That's how the movie basically ends. Not even a cutscene for me to watch this week.
You're forgetting a scene. Probably the most entertaining scene in this entire movie. General Ross is sitting at a bar.
General Ross is sitting at a bar, and Tony Stark walks in and goes, "Here you have something about super soldiers."
And he said, "You should talk." And he says, "You should listen." And then he says he's there to talk about what?
Super soldiers.
No, a program that Tony's working on.
Shield.
No, a program
The
that Tony is.
Initiative.
That is correct. The Avengers Initiative.
Was that right?
Yeah.
I made that up.
He's there to talk to try to recruit somebody for the Avengers Initiative. Do you know who he's there to recruit?
Yes.
Who is he recruiting?
Abomination.
That is correct. So we'll talk about this when we go over the consultant
You're
short.
like, oh well, he just got choked out with a chain, so
So
might want this other big green guy over here.
well, the green guy disappeared. He ran away. They have the Abomination captured. Tony was ordered by S.H.I.E.L.D. to go to this bar to kind of to ask General Ross to let the Abomination be on the Avengers because they knew that Tony Stark's appearance would piss General Ross off so much that he would say no because they did not want the Abomination to be on the team. But higher ups were kind of forcing them.
Right there.
Mm-hmm. And we'll
imagine General Ross wasn't pissed off, and then all of a sudden they have to start backtracking, like no. And then there's a whole movie about them killing the Abomination, so he doesn't have to be on the Avengers. That should be in the what if.
What if?
Should be what if Abomination joined the Avengers?
Yeah. Thor with his hammer knocks his head off.
But we will learn more about this kind of scenario and the context in this scenario when we talk about the Marvel one-shot shorts. Yes, that's pretty much the movie. For your review of that movie or your synopsis of that movie, I'm gonna give you an A+. I think you really captured how bad that movie was.
Oh, that's fair.
Honestly, what you remember to that movie is probably more than most people.
It was so bad, I'm still recovering from it. Like, dude, like, I think I kind of mentioned this, but like, the lighting in this movie was an atrocity.
Oh, it's god awful.
It was a crime against humanity, like a war crime.
What was their attempt at hiding the CGI?
It didn't work at all. The lighting was bad in scenes with no CGI. There was like a dark shadow framing the screen, like at just random times.
Well, they have to keep it consistently
The lighting
bad.
I'm using right now is better than the movie.
Yeah, that's might be true.
$15 at Staples.
Well, in their defense, they bought that for $150 million.
Yeah, it should have been shot on an iPhone.
Well, let me tell you some fun facts about the Incredible Hulk. So, the intro to the movie, as you recall, was a bunch of shots like of Bruce Banner turning into the Hulk and running away. The intro to the movie is a homage to the Incredible Hulk TV show. It's basically like a shot-for-shot remake of the opening from the TV show. Your favorite character, the Hulk, you also known as,
Hulk Hogan?
No, the Hulk Cuck.
Oh, Hulk Cuck, yes.
Yeah. Ty Burrell.
He got cucked, bigger, greener dick.
Ty Burrell's character, Doc Samson, is based off of Doc Samson from the comic books, who would go on to become a hero of his own in the comics with the strength of Hulk.
So Hulk's like, sorry about piping your girl.
Want some powers?
You want some powers?
You want superpowers and some green hair?
Yeah, like the Hulk has always been like one of kind of my favorite superheroes. Like, I love the Hulk. Had big green hands as a kid. Used to like just you know. So you know the big green hands. Yeah. Kid, and then Fantastic Four came out, and then they had the Rock guy's hands.
The Thing.
As well. Yeah, the Thing. You could buy those hands as well. There's no better time than like one of your buddies in the neighborhood would walk down with the thing hands on or the Hulk hands, get a pair of those on, and you start wailing on each other with those.
Oh man. And did you say time for round 3?
I no, they didn't make Abomination hands.
The original actor of the Hulk, Lou Ferrigno, he played the Green Hulk in the 70s TV show. Like, they literally painted him.
Yeah,
green.
Body painted him, right?
Yeah. He actually appears in this movie as a security guard for the college, I believe it is.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
See, I like how they do these like little Easter eggs and callbacks in these movies.
Yeah. And you'll like this one. The 2 characters interviewed on the news report about the Hulk's attack have a history with the character. Jack McGee was a character from the original TV series, while Jim Wilson was first in the comics befriending the Green Giant.
They use a random name generator to get those names, or what's up?
They used the same name generator they got for Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner's like at least a decent
Betty.
name. Jack
Betty
McGee sounds like a name you put on a fake ID.
and Betty Ross.
Yeah, Betty Ross.
Don't forget, the MCU is all connected, so now I gotta tell you the connections in this movie to the greater, wider MCU.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so in an alternate deleted opening of this movie, we see Bruce attempt to take his own life before turning into the Hulk to stop it.
That's what
this
I want to do watching this movie.
This scene is referenced in Avengers, as well as in this scene when Hulk jumps onto the ice, we can see a silhouette of Captain America holding his shield in the background. Originally, this was the plan to have Captain America frozen, but they changed that later on.
Why didn't they keep that in the movie?
Because it was too good for this movie.
Such a better opening scene than what they had. They're like, we could have Captain America in the opening scene of this movie, and it would be pretty epic. Or we can have old Banner here getting the shit slapped out of him by some guy who's gonna die within 5 minutes of the movie starting. They're like, yep, that's the one right there. So this scene here, and I mean, this is like, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is kind of on par for the directing and acting of this movie. So Buddy hikes out onto a glacier, which is apparently within walking distance of a road.
It took him a while to get there.
Sure, I'm fine with that. As he pulls out his weapon, his gun, if you will, and points it at the ice for what I can only assume is he's going to shoot a hole in the ice to try and drown himself. However, he is on top of what could only be about a 150-foot tall iceberg.
He was going to shoot himself in the face, which he references in the Avengers. However, because it's a Marvel movie, they can't show him doing that.
Oh, it's okay to drown, just not shoot yourself in the fucking head, I guess.
No, he wasn't going to shoot the ice. It's just that he turned into the Hulk before he could turn the gun towards his face.
Must have gotten excited.
In the Avengers, he says he shot a bullet in his mouth, turned into the Hulk, and the Hulk spit the bullet out. So it's a little changed version of it, but we barely got into the connections. All right, so we kind of already talked that the serum used on Emil Blonsky to give him enhanced strength and agility is based on the super soldier serum that created Captain America during World War II. Bruce Banner's gamma experiments are part of the ongoing search to recreate the super soldier serum from World War II as well. We talked about that a little bit.
We did. We touched on that.
The container that includes the chemicals that were used on Emil Blonsky for the super soldier serum include the name Dr. Reinstein. That is the alias of Abraham Erskine from Captain America, the First Avenger. So we'll talk about him more in a couple weeks.
Yes, when I rewatched that movie because I thought it was the original. First one.
It's not, though. Now, this is one of my favorite Easter eggs in this movie and kind of makes this movie worth it. The student, so if you remember, there's a scene where Bruce Banner is delivering pizza to the college. To get into the college. He basically poses as a pizza
Oh
man.
yeah, gives it to the old bodyguard there. I said, I got one for you if you let me up. Terrible at his job.
Exactly. The student that he brings the pizza to, right, is played by Martin Starr. Martin Starr's character would go on to be Peter Parker's teacher at Midtown High 7 years later.
Oh, he got his degree.
Yep. He graduated and became a high school teacher.
Very nice.
Now, in the same scene, the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo can be seen on a computer used by Bruce Banner, showing S.H.I.E.L.D.'s involvement in Bruce's work.
Peter Parker's teacher probably got to have parent-teacher conferences with Aunt May.
Yeah.
That's something to think about.
Lucky man. Lucky guy.
Lucky man.
Not as lucky as Happy Hogan, though.
Abby Hogan.
Happy Hogan dated MJ. Or, not MJ, Aunt May.
Yeah, after Uncle Ben tasted some sidewalk. Or some lead.
Tasted something alright.
He was hungry. He had to get fed lead.
Well, at this point, I'm going to open it to the student questions. So, do you have any questions about the Incredible Hulk, Jake?
Yes. Is there a new Incredible Hulk in the works in the future?
Rumors are that there are going to be a World War Hulk movie coming in Phase 5 or 6. Because World War Hulk. Based off the comics, World War Hulk.
Yeah, but are they going to like remake this one and replace it?
Probably not. This is now part.
This is really the weak link in the chain right now. Like,
oh man, we haven't even got to the good stuff yet. Oh, well, I assume you don't have any more questions, so it's time for this week's quiz.
I don't even watch movies like that. Like, you watch movies and then you take in all aspects of the movie, right? Like, you're like, oh, the lighting was good, the acting was good, like the CGI was good. Like, you and I have had different opinions on movies. I have movies I like, and you're like, that movie sucked because the CGI sucked. I watch movies purely to enjoy them. I really don't care about stuff like lighting, CGI, acting, all that. This movie, the acting, CGI, and lighting was so bad, it actually angered me. And I don't watch movies like that. That's my final thought on the Hulk. Give me the quiz. Let's get an A+. Bring my average up to like 99.
Turns out that you're the animation snob in this series.
That turns out this movie specifically.
Well, all right. Question number 1: who plays Hulk in this movie? Mark Ruffalo, Eric Bana, Edward Norton, or Lou Ferrigno?
Eric Bana, close to Bruce Banner, and Mark Ruffalo, but not Mark Ruffalo. It's Edward Norton.
That is correct. Eric Bana played Bruce Banner in the Hulk movie. 2003's The Hulk.
Okay. I think that one was better than this.
It wasn't. I can tell you it wasn't. It was much worse. There's Hulk dogs in that one. What is the name of Bruce's love interest? Is it A, Pepper Potts, B, Betty Ross, C, Peggy Carter, or D, She-Hulk?
It's Bob Ross's sister, Betty.
That is correct. Question number 3. What type of radiation turned Bruce Banner into the Hulk? Was it... Okay. Correct. Which actor from this movie is the first to return in the MCU? Is it A, William Hurt, B, Edward Norton, C, Liv Tyler, or D, Tim Roth?
Return? Like, was in...
Another MCU... was in a different MCU film. After The Incredible Hulk.
Man, though, right?
The character that returned into the MCU after this movie first.
Oh, okay. Repeat.
A, William Hurt, B, Edward Norton, C, Liv Tyler, or D, Tim Roth?
Tim Roth.
That is incorrect. Tim Roth did not make his MCU reappearance until 2022 She-Hulk.
Okay. Okay.
William Hurt
That was
appeared.
my second choice.
William Hurt appeared as General Ross in Civil War.
Oh, that's what that actor's name is. Okay.
He returned into the MCU 3 times before Tim Roth returned to the MCU. Sorry, and I lied. Tim Roth actually made his reappearance in the MCU in Shang-Chi in 2021.
I gotta watch that. I heard that was really good.
You'll get there.
Was it good?
It is good. I like it.
Yeah, I always wanted to watch it.
It's called, get this, Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings.
Now that I know about the 10 Rings, I'm very interested here. We'll get there, guy.
We'll get there much, much later in the future.
2 to 3 years from now, probably.
Maybe. But next we have question number 5. Bruce was helped via the internet in his quest for a cure. On the instant messenger, Bruce went by Mr. Green. What was his helper's screen name? Was it A, Mr. Leader, B, Mr. Scientist, C, Mr. Blue, or D, Mr. Red?
Mr. Blue?
That is correct.
That was a real, boy, until I heard Mr. Blue, I was like, good God, I am not getting this one.
Question number 6. Who is sent to hunt down Banner? Is it A, Doc Samson, B, Emil Blonsky, C, Tony Stark, or D, Agent Coulson?
Throw Coulson in here. It is indeed the abomination himself, Emil Kolsky.
It's actually Emil Blonsky, so that's incorrect.
Shut the fuck up.
I'll give you a correct on that one. I'll feed it to you this time.
Feed
All
it
right.
to me, Daddy.
Oh no. Question number 7. Which program was Banner trying to recreate with his experiments? A, the Super Soldiers program, B, the Iron Man program, C, the Pegasus program, or D, the AIM program?
Did you come up with the last two?
No,
Because it's the Super Soldier program.
that is correct.
What are the other two?
Project Pegasus is an Iron Man thing from the comics, and AIM is an organization that we'll talk about when we get to Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Question number 8. Who invented the weapon that was used on Hulk at the college? Was it A, General Ross, B, Bruce Banner, C, Tony Stark, or D, Maria Hill?
Tony Stark.
That is correct.
You taught me that.
I'm a good teacher. Question number 9. Who did Tony want to recruit to the Avengers at the end of the movie? Was it A, Hulk, B, Abomination, C, General Ross, or D, Doc Samson?
Did you say Abomination?
Yeah,
Okay, so that's it.
that is
I didn't
correct.
hear Abomination there, and I was like,
B. Abomination was B.
yeah, B for Abomination.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's B.
Now I want you to know, I kind of don't think you're gonna get this next one. This is the last question. All right. Fill in the blank from this line from the movie. Don't make me blank. You wouldn't like it when I'm blank. Is it don't make me angry? You wouldn't like it when I'm angry. Don't make me riled up. You wouldn't like me when I'm riled up. Don't make me hulky. You won't like it when I'm hulky. Or don't make me hungry. You wouldn't like it when I'm hungry.
Angry?
That is incorrect.
Oh, I should have known. It's a fucking shit movie, so it's probably don't get me hulky. You won't like me when I'm hulky. Or it's
No.
probably, you know what? It's actually riled up. It's 100% riled up.
No. In the scene at the beginning of the movie when he's in the soda factory, he says in a different language, trying to say angry, he says, "Don't make me hungry. You wouldn't like it when I'm hungry."
It was in another language. You wanted me to read the subtitles.
Oh, now you know for the future that you should read the subtitles. All right, so that was an 80% on this quiz, so a B on the quiz. So I'm gonna give you a B for the movie. B plus.
It's not terrible.
Look here. Last week, I got a C minus and an A plus,
Yeah.
and you gave me a C plus.
No, I gave you a B plus.
You gave me a B plus. This week, I got an 80 on the quiz, which is a B.
Minus.
B.
Minus.
Was an 81 a B?
No, it's like 80 to 83 is B minus, 83 to 87 is B, 87 to 90 is a B plus.
Depending on where you go to school. All right, fine. I got a B minus, and then an A plus.
Right, so I'm giving you a B plus.
That doesn't make sense because you gave me a B plus last week, I got a much lower grade. This should be at least like in A territory here.
Fine. I gave you a B plus. This is my grading system, damn it. I can do what I want.
Your grading system's about as good as this movie.
Perfect. So your homework for this week is to watch Iron Man 2.
Ooh.
Another Tony Stark adventure before we get into the meat and potatoes of the MCU.
Really gonna get these side dishes in here before we get to the real mashed potatoes.
Yes, whatever that means, yes.
Yeah.
But do you hear that? That's the bell ringing. Class is over. You are dismissed. I've been your Professor Alix, and you've been the worst student ever, Jake.